Mismong si Pangulong Marcos nagulat nang biglang palayasin ng Estados Unidos ang China sa Pilipinas. Base sa balitang kumakalat, tinuhog ng Estados Unidos ang People's Republic of China matapos sabihan silang lumayas dahil tinubos na nilang Pilipinas. Ayon kay Philippine Ambassador US Romualdez, willing to invest $1 billion dito ang Amerika para matapos ang Mindanao Railway Project. Para di mangutang si BBM sa China, pwede na silang palayasin dito ng US.
Inihayag ni Philippine Ambassador to the United States Jose Manuel Romualdez na opisyal na nagpahayag ng interes ang Estados Unidos na mamuhunan ng higit sa $1 bilyong para suportahan ang naantala ng Mindanao Railway Project ng pamahalaan. Inaasahang ang pondo ay manggagaling sa US International Development Financial Corporation na kilala ng tumutulong at namumuhunan sa infrastructure at development projects ng developing countries para sa ikauunlad ng kanilang ekonomiya. Ayon kay Ambassador Romualdez, popondohan sana ng bansang China ang naturang proyekto, ngunit napagdesisyonan ng Pilipinas na wag nang ituloy ang pakikipag-ugnayan sa Chinese Official Development Assistance para sa konstruksyon ng railway nitong nakaraang Nobyembre. Nauna nang sinabi ni Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista na ibinasura na ng bansa ang China bilang pagmumula ng pondo para sa Mindanao Railway Project dahil sa kakulangan ng progreso sa mga negosasyon.
Pero pakiusap ng Ambassador ng China na isa na nilang maipagpatuloy ang pagpapautang pa nila sa Pilipinas matapos ngang lumabas ang balitang papalayasin na sila sa Pilipinas.
Nais ng China na maipagpatuloy ang pagpapatibay ng kanilang kooperasyon sa Pilipinas sa sektor ng infrastruktura. Ginawa ng Chinese Embassy ang pahayag matapos na lumabas ang mga balita na nag-withdraw o binawi na ng Pilipinas ang request sa China ukol sa Official Development Assistance para pondohan ang Mindanao Railway Project. Sinasabing nag-withdraw ang Pilipinas sa pakikipagnegosasyon sa China hinggil sa proyekto.
Ayon pa kay Senator Grace Poe, tama ginagawa ni BBM tanggalin ng China bilang funding source ng gobyerno dahil bigti ang interes sa China, ibabaon nila ang gobyerno.
Naniniwala si Senator Grace Poe na hindi dapat makaapekto sa iba pang infrastructure projects ng Pilipinas ang pagtatanggal sa China bilang funding source sa Mindanao Railway Project. Ayon kay Senator Poe na siyang chairperson ng Senate Committee on Public Services, matagal nang nagiging sanhi ng delay ang Chinese banks sa loan applications ng Pilipinas, dahilan para mabinti ng ilang proyekto ng gobyerno.
Dagdag pa ni Senator Coco Pimentel, Philippine must stand ground para hindi bully ang China sa WPS. Kaya tama desisyon ni BBM mangutang sa Amerika, ipatayo din niyang military infrastructure sa WPS.
We should stand our ground, Karen. Our actions should be consistent with our position. Our position is that we are entitled to these maritime zones being part of our EEZ. Our decision is our own. Okay? Okay, hindi pwedeng because winarningan tayo, nagbago isip natin. No, tayo. Kung magbago man ang isip natin, it's not because of the warning. It's because we decided to come up with a new plan as a sovereign nation. So yun ang gawin natin. But the plan now, per the budget, is to improve some facilities there because we have personnel deployed in the area, Karen. So we have to also be conscious about their safety and their living conditions.
Okay.
As they are Filipinos. Kasi pwede naman talaga there can really be new developments in the area which a state can complain against. Okay, we hear China, but number one, so we hear their warning, so we are aware of their warning. But what is Ayungin Shore? It's part of our EEZ. That's our position. Under UNCLOS, as we understand it, it is the coastal state which is entitled to the EEZ, which has the right to build artificial islands in its EEZ. So, sa mata natin, we are doing something legal even under international law or the UNCLOS. So, to the extent that we can, tuloy ang plano because we are a sovereign state. But we hear the warning of our neighbor. So, yun na yun. Meron ng international diplomacy involved here, Karen. But if we could find a partner to do it, with the guts to do it. Ganito kasi
The guts to do it. Yeah.
kasi ano rin ito again, so from our point of view, we have that's part of our EEZ, so exclusive economic zone. So economic use is for the coastal state, Philippines ngayon yun. So we should act in accordance with our position and our beliefs. So we should act. And then pero this is not simply domestic law enforcement or domestic law execution, because there's an international angle or ramification. So well, subject to delicate balancing act. But ulitin ko yung statement ko kanina, our actions should be consistent with our position.
You know what are you?
That's how easy. Therefore, under the law, under international law, the coastal state entitled to the EEZ can do acts which to take advantage of the economic resources available in that EEZ. So we should act in accordance with our beliefs. So we should be consistent. So we should act. But when we say we should act as a sovereign nation. So our Navy or our Coast Guard should be there to patrol the seas, to enforce our laws to the extent that we can, taking into account that we also know that our claims are disputed. But meaning to say, we also dispute their claims, their country's claims. So, merong konting, this is not merely a domestic law enforcement na. I mean, law enforcement, but with an international or foreign relations angle. So, yun ang gawin natin. But we should try our best not to escalate the situation on the, hindi ko masabing situation on the ground, the situation on the water. So let us not escalate. No?
Okay, so now, would you say, because you have been there during former President Duterte's time, you were once allies, and some have said he's pivoted the Philippines to China, away from the United States. That's actually worsened the situation in the West Philippine Sea. Would you say that, how would you then describe President Marcos Jr. and former President Duterte's stand on the West Philippine Sea and in dealing with China?
No, President Duterte also believed that we have EEZ and we have some territories in the disputed areas. Alam na, that's the Philippine position. But of course, this is a delicate balancing act.
But you have to remember that in the beginning of his term, he described the victory as just a mere piece of paper. He also said na, do you want to go to war with China? Talo tayo if you go to war with China. It was almost defeatist, frankly, in the beginning of his term. So whose foreign policy would you agree more?
That was probably part of his balancing act. But of course, the characterization of a hard-earned victory in an international tribunal as a mere anong tawag doon, trash paper was very unfortunate. Disagree ako ron. Sabi ko nga, that is the Philippines contribution to the development of international maritime law. Dapat pagmayabang din natin yun, di ba? We are a responsible member of the international community, a law-abiding member of the international community. That's why we availed of legal remedies. And although not exactly that we won, but we won in the sense that we had the dashes based on historic rights nullified. Maganda. That's the biggest contribution to international maritime law. Ngayon, so it's a balancing act. Ito lang, what I'm worried with the balancing act of President Marcos is that I do not want other powers to be involved unnecessarily. Let's just put the term unnecessarily, because it might escalate the tensions there. Remember, other powers may not have the best interests of the Philippines in mind. They may have their own best interests in mind, and I do not know if war is part of their best interests. But for us Filipinos, we avoid war as much as possible.
Ngayon, ikaw bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.